with Metatron in the top, and I would love it.
Double Metatron now. What you gonna do about it?
No, I'm not sure there's much worth reacting to Metatron. It would just be funny. I'm picturing, because if you reacted to this, you would react to me. You'd see me, and then you. And if you did that, I would do another reaction just to see.
Here we are, man. How many cameras are we gonna have at the end? Where are you gonna put yours, huh? Where are you gonna put it? It's like there is a Tetris value to this. Where are you gonna put your next camera, Shad? Huh? Holy moly. How many cameras are we gonna... Okay, let's do it. Hey, noble ones. Welcome to the man cave. The first video we're gonna react to is from this man. It's from this troll. It's from this troll of a man, because you gotta see this. So, Mr. Shadiversity here, all epic in his, with all these castles and his Shadlands. He did something. He did something the other day. I don't know if you're aware, but what he did, but one of his, because he's such a troll, he did this, which is, I cannot believe Metatron did this. So this title, I gotta give you the lore here. He made this title because that was my title. How did he do this? Like, how did Shad do this? So he did this and he reacted to my reaction to his reaction. And I'm a man who does not back down from a challenge, because he challenged me. It's like, well, maybe you could make a react to a react of the react of my react. We'll end up, we're gonna end up with 16 cameras on a single shot, because of course I'm going to challenge him to react to my react to his react to my react to his react. Who's gonna back down first? Huh? Who's gonna chicken out?
Greetings, I'm Shad, and I'm just doing something fun and lighthearted in this video. Metatron, good friend, love him. He has reacted to our short film Sword Fight on Shadiversity.
I have indeed.
And now I want to react to his reacting to me. It's Reactception. I'm going to scrutinize absolutely everything, because you know I'm a pedantic son of a... Anyway, let's go.
Pedantic is my middle name, Shad. Who's going to be more pedantic? You want a challenge? You want a challenge?
First, I got to say, Metatron, your background not very historically... Oh, look, mine isn't historically accurate either. We can only do so much, so I'll give you a pass. All right?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Dearest noble one. So, goodness gracious. I still have the orange light that I put on because Ridley Scott is...
Orange light sometimes makes me look too... Because we can color correct some of our lights here. Random thing to comment on, but yeah, sometimes orange light it doesn't do it for me. But you do you.
Fixated. Oh, it's not me. I'm doing Ridley Scott on this one because I got a blue light now. With orange, so I just had to write. Let me change it. Today we need a blue light. There we go. Blue, like PlayStation 2. Yep.
Yeah, I think blue's working for you there. You know, you got dark hair, and it works. There's a more yellowish light in the office here that I think I need to deal with.
I have a dedicated video to that box. Link in the description to my third channel. Thank you. He basically gave me a shout out to the third channel without.
What do you guys think about me doing gaming content?
You should totally do gaming content. You should let Shad. Okay. Wait. Okay, Shad, listen. You should do gaming content. I'm just gonna say one word. Well, two. Skyrim. It's one thing you could do. I would totally watch. Would you guys watch a full gameplay of Shad scrutinizing Skyrim? Second, co-op. Man, we could co-op. You should come as a guest on my Dragon's Dogma 2. But in general, could you imagine me and Shad playing a co-op game? Maybe on my third channel or on Twitch, on YouTube, anywhere. And we both go pedantic on the game. Like it will take us a week to get through the first quest. Man, that would be awesome. Chat, what do you think? Yeah, look at that, Shad. The hotline says Shad would do so good with gaming. I agree. I think Shad should do some gaming. Why don't you test it first, Shad? Let's come over here. Let's play some games together. Top right it is. Let's go.
I've been thinking about it. And I don't know. I'm not talking about reviews in terms of weapon accuracy and other things like that.
Of course you should do that too. Shad, you think too much. Just do it.
For games, because I'll do that whenever the opportunity arises or I feel like it. But I'm actually talking about live stream gaming content.
Yeah, you should do it.
Feels like it's so out of place. I'm not sure you guys would be... Would you show up? I just don't know.
Do it on Twitch. I wouldn't say, Shad, is a good idea to spam our main channels with gaming content, like playing, because that could be a bit problematic with the algorithm indeed. But dedicate a channel like my third or Twitch, I think is a good idea. Okay, so as you know, because you've been watching every single one of my uploads because you're addicted. KCD2. Oh, who gets more pedantic on KCD2? Like that, I have recently made a reaction video to Scalagrim and a little bit of his sword tests. Well, yeah. Today...
It's an interesting concept because I've done kendo as well, and I have thoughts.
How long have you done kendo for? I've done 2.5 years, 3 of kendo when I was in Japan. How long did you do kendo for? Actually, reacting to Shadiversity. I should make myself smaller because this is good. You don't want to miss any of this. Let's see you. Wow! Look at the intro shot with
So we mentioned we have on Shadiversity a full commentary and fight breakdown going into detail.
I'll put a link to the description on YouTube after I edit this so that you guys can go check it out.
Very few people have picked up how we made that backdrop. It's with AI tools, of course, with a number of other, because we had to use something as a foundation, but I was very happy with how it started off.
I mean, of course, I knew it wasn't a real castle, and I know that's not a real dragon, Shad. I know that's not a real dragon.
So the dragons, funnily enough, we actually didn't comment too much on the dragons, apart from less is more, and there were some good ideas about that. I'm not sure they were needed, but...
They were absolutely needed. Dragons are always needed.
I guess it draws focus a bit away from the castle, which seems to work. Because maybe if you look too much at the castle, you might... It looks pretty real, though. That castle, I was pretty happy with how I got that castle image look. And then the moving grass. But anyway.
Okay, that's... who's that? Because I can never tell them apart. Is that Shad or is it...
me.
I think that's Shad. Loves the Brigandine. Yeah, it was a joke, actually, when I said I can never tell them apart. It's because they both wear the same Brigandine. It's just I think one wears the metal one and one wears the one that is lighter. Probably Shad wears the lighter one, I imagine. So it's kind of funny that they have similar body type, right? Present.
Yeah, I know. And Metatron has the blue Brigandine. Yep. And he mentions about, perhaps us having a duel in the future. That would look very cool, the red and the blue.
I agree. Like, could you imagine? Like, that would be very easy to tell us apart on screen, blue versus red. Kind of old school, in fact. Man, that'd be amazing. Should I wear a barbute? Or should I just walk there with a freaking frog mouth on top of the Brigandine? He does have chronic fatigue syndrome. I think he had surgery, so it's better now. Your favorite color is red. Well, nobody's perfect, mate.
Not many people are ever able to tell that is my foam Brigandine. Much lighter, easy wear, though it's still restrictive, hard to breathe. It's not to say it's easy to wear.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad you do.
Man, the color grading, color correction.
It helped. It helped. Like, it still doesn't look as real as I would like. We talk more about that in our full commentary. That's some of the limitations about having, extras and also location limitations. What
doesn't look as real? I'm not sure what he means here. You mean the grass? Is this all AI? He was actually in his studio and everything you see is green screen. Maybe he's talking about like real in the sense of movie-like. I think that's what he's meaning. I think it looks great. Nice.
Sorry, I just love it. You got me here with Metatron in the top, and I would love it.
Double Metatron now. What you gonna do about it?
No, I'm not sure there's much worth reacting to Metatron. It would just be funny. I'm picturing, because if you reacted to this, you would react to me. You'd see me, and then you, and if you did that, I would do another reaction just to see.
Here we are, man. Not gonna back out from a fight. How many cameras are we going to have at the end? Where are you going to put yours? Huh? Where are you going to put it? It's like there is a Tetris value to this as well. And I so don't care that the haters are going to get so mad. Oh, look, Metatron and Shad are only making slop. This is what they're doing. Now they're just react. Yes, we will continue to react to each other in perpetuity for this video until we have like 1,700. I don't know who's going to give up first. Where are you going to put your next camera, Shad? Huh?
The smaller, us's continuing going on now. Look, you don't need to. I'm just saying, I chuckle at it.
It's nice. Here we are. Love the barbute, because I love barbutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a historically accurate bar butte.
That's
and
fine.
We wanted to wear my regular helmet.
The dragons are not historically accurate either, so in this case I will excuse you. It kind of reminds me of the helmet from For Honor, like the Knight base helmet, if you know what I'm talking about.
This thing right here. Look, there's some complications about this helmet, okay? Although
It totally looks like that one, or is it only me? I've got to check this. So let me put myself full screen 1 second. I'm going to write Knight For Honor, because I need to know. Google, please, not Yahoo. How Yahoo insinuates itself. Yeah, I think I'm right. 1 moment, please. Look, it looks like it, doesn't it? Let's check Shad again. Look at the helmet. It's the same. Yeah, it's got the For Honor helmet. Cheeky. You thought I wouldn't notice, but I did. I did notice. You couldn't stop me from noticing.
Are some more historically accurate ones that look similar to it.
Yeah, definitely. The ocularia are so big. You can, it's not that you would be able to fit a crossbow bolt. You could probably fit a whole crossbow through this one. And he does have the cross. This is For Honor. You try to hide it. You failed.
What they identify this is it's technically a visored bassinet. But yeah, anyway, I forgot it on the day. So
it would have been cool with this one though. That happens to me so much. Do you remember all the content that I used to make back in Sicily where we would go out in full armor, samurai, Roman? Every time I would forget something. Oh, I forgot the helmet. Oh, I forgot the gladius. Oh, I forgot the scutum. How does one forget a scutum? No idea. But here we are. So yeah, very cool. For Honor.
So Tyrant had that one from a previous shoot, and so we just needed to do what we could, and that's why my nose is sticking out.
One of my favorite helmets. Okay, so he's a man of faith.
This is such a good shot.
Buttes as well.
Yeah.
I would like to get a proper, more historically accurate one.
I can tell you a couple of names if you want. The next barbute I'd like to buy is the T-shaped one. I don't know if you're aware.
Barbute. I do like this one.
Yeah.
It's just there's a reason why it's become so popular for most people. Maybe I need to do a video what's historically inaccurate about this.
Yeah, you should.
There's actually a decent amount of detail.
Like the ocularia.
That is a gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
Shad.
Yeah, look at it. Like the way he's holding it as if the sword becomes the cross, which is something that a medieval knight would have considered as a symbolism of Christianity. Of course, particularly religious-oriented orders like the Templars. But yeah, this is a beautiful shot, absolutely. Probably my favorite shot in the entire scene. What do you guys think?
We were happy with this shot as well. It's one of the ones that we also tried to use as a thumbnail, but we did the thumbnail testing, and it just didn't perform as well.
I don't know what to think about the thumbnail testing, to be honest, because I've used it a few times. What he's talking about is that as channels now, we have the ability to select 3 thumbnails, and then the system will allocate those thumbnails 33% per subscribers. So imagine you've got a certain number of notifications, then a third of the subscribers will get 1 thumbnail, and then it gives you a report after a few days. You need to reach a certain amount of views so that the algorithm can calculate which of these has performed better. But I don't know if I like the way I don't use it anymore, because it calculates, the way it chooses the best performing thumbnail is based on the average watch time generated by that video with that thumbnail. To me, that's kind of silly, because at the end of the day, it should be performed on the amount of clicks, because that's what a thumbnail does. It's supposed to draw people in, and then the quality of the video, the presentation, and everything else is what keeps people watching. So it is very likely, by the way it's organized now, that it tells you, oh no, this is the most performing thumbnail, but in reality, it wasn't performing great when it comes to attracting people, particularly from outside your community. It says it performs well because you did well with the content. So the pacing, the music, and all the rest. I don't like the way it's organized now. I do understand that average watch time is the most important factor when it comes to YouTube right now. So I understand where they're going with it. I just think, so you should prioritize average watch time over anything else. But thumbnails have a kind of a different purpose. They're supposed to attract people. I wouldn't worry about that too much, to be honest.
Even though I love it. I love the shot. And look, that's a credit to Tyrant as well. He was the cameraman. He was directing the cameraman on the day. The cameraman was Nathan, who also did a phenomenal job, but Tyrant was directing, okay, we're going to go here.
I like Nathan. It's a shame he doesn't appear that much, but does he have his own channel? Because I know Tyrant does, and I really like Tyrant. Really, really cool channel. I kind of want to give him some exposure as well. He definitely deserves it.
So the credit goes to him for choosing this shot, and credit to Nathan for holding. Even though there were sometimes Tyrant held the camera, Nathan was the primary cameraman.
Man, the production, you stepped up.
Yep.
We tried. There was a lot of effort put into this.
I agree with myself, by the way.
This one, at least 1 to 2 weeks preparation time, full day shoot. I want to do another one. I really do. But we would need more time. We would need more budget. There is a location I could pick, which would be great. We'd need to pay for the location, and I would love to hire a proper cameraman with a proper serious gear camera. Money probably even
that would cost tens of thousands.
Maybe a 10-minute short where we put in more effort to do even more choreography, more planning. It would be a week-long shoot to really capture everything and get extras there. It would probably end up costing $100,000.
I mean, $100,000 is... I think you could do it with a little less than that, but still, you know what I think? I'll be honest with you, Shad, because you're a friend, so I can just be honest directly. I think what could happen, and I wish it wasn't the case, but if you do that, you would have a massive investment, which you would probably have to you would have to crowdfund something like that. You would put all of that money in, but then YouTube's algorithm is going to mess with you. And so it's going to frustrate you. All of that work, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if you do want to do it, you would have to crowdfund it in a way that you insert your own personal profit and the profit of everyone involved. So once that's ensured, then it becomes a self-funded project, but you would have to take into consideration within the crowdfunding. And of course, if you decide to do it, I'll be the first one to support and also share it. So absolutely. But yeah, the algorithm it doesn't reward quality. And I hate that, but it doesn't. It rewards quantity, which is why I stepped up the quantity of production. I think that it would really frustrate you. So you would have to ensure, do calculate your own personal profit within the crowdfunding goal if you end up doing it as a personal project. The algorithm might just not mess with it and it might cap at 30,000 views. I hope not,
Everything just adds up. Location costs, camera cost.
Yep.
Set.
Pasta, pizza.
Accommodation, because we would need to go to the location.
He still hasn't said pasta, though.
Maybe we could get it to 50K, but what do you guys think? Would it be worth trying to do a crowdfund?
Well, your hardcore fans will say yes. They will. Problem is that then they don't get the notification, do they? I'm not laughing. I'm laughing not because it's funny. It's not. It happens to me too. My regular videos occasionally have the outlier, but then original content, put a lot of work into it, deep research, and they cap at 20,000 views. Then I make a React video that I produce in 5 minutes and it gets 300,000 views. It's just how it is. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm just laughing because I don't want to cry, if that makes sense. Hypothetically.
Kickstarter thing to try and raise money, because we're under the pump so much now trying to do daily content. We would need to...
You need to keep that one up, the daily.
Get a backlog to have content for the week.
Welcome to my life. I always have backlogs. Always backlogs, both original, React, debunking, reaction, commentary, everything. All of those types of videos, I always back them up. Like right now, filming wise, I already have the next 9 videos all filmed for the 3rd channel because I post on all 3 daily and I do Twitch daily, which means I have to produce 90 videos a month, and that's not discussing members and Patreon alone. So yes, welcome to my life. That's you've got to do backlog. Also because you might have an emergency, and I know that some YouTubers will say if it's an emergency, I won't post. Fine. I don't like to do that. So if there is an emergency, if I got to go somewhere, if I want to take out my wife and my in-laws for lunch, and I'm like, oh, but what about the video for today? I already have it. Back catalog.
And they go out, shoot, and then my health, it's so many complications. I want to do it though, because this has shown to me that the potential that we could achieve if we had a bit more money, a bit more time. But I'm glad you appreciate it, because we did put in effort to this as well. And it looks a bit like...
I absolutely appreciate it. If you want to do it for yourself and your core audience, you can still do it. With all the content you're posting now, that's going to take it. That's why I do more React content now, and I do a lot of debunking and commentary, because it really allows us creators to do whatever we want and whatever the core audience wants, even though the algorithm might not push it, because we are supported by the rest of the content that is pushed by the machine. It's as simple as that, really. It was actually insane to see a couple of videos saying that this movie that he did, this short film, was horrible, and the only reason why they say it is because they hate his ideas, what he stands for, his personal politics. I think that's a very disingenuous and dishonest approach. You can absolutely hate his politics, you can hate him as a person, but still be fair. And that's what I do. Like, oftentimes I will react to a person and I can't stand them at a personal level, but if what they do, if what they produce is good, I'll say it. It's not that difficult.
Has higher production value than a regular video, that's for sure.
Yep.
Not as much as it needs to do as best as we could.
This is incredible, with a dragon in the background, and I mean, I'd be worried if I were you with a dragon, but this is an incredible shot.
Yeah, I have wondered about how the dragons fit into the story, and it's like, oh, they're just flying. Maybe they serve us, and whereas like, oh no, we're not using the dragons in this duel.
Reminds me of a...
It kind of opens up possibilities for future short films, which is probably what I would do if I were you, rather than doing a 100,000 production 10 minutes short. I may continue this story. Maybe we can even do something together with me at a distance, and we can continue for smaller stories. Why not? Let's do it.
Oblivion. Okay, that's...
You're not the only one who has said that, actually.
Because it's true.
We've got a number of comments that said that it's a bit Oblivion-esque, and I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
It is a compliment. Oblivion is my favorite Elder Scrolls. Yeah, okay, I know Daggerfall is amazing. I get it. And Skyrim is Skyrim, but I prefer Oblivion over Skyrim. Hot take.
This must be Tyrant. Tyrant is awesome as well.
Tyrant is awesome.
Oh yeah, Tyrant, that's great.
Put links to both channels. Oh my god!
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's another one of those good shots. The thing for me, I guess the dragon is so prominent in this shot, it makes me gives, as a viewer, I'm thinking, how do the dragons now fit in, which we don't address in the short film.
Man, Hollywood can go F off.
Dragons are props.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we had budget, we could do even better. Though, one of the consistent comments is like, we were able to do this in a day. The actual choreography, the planning of the fighting and the filming of the fighting, 2 hours. And
that's actually impressive.
We got it to look pretty good for a very limited budget.
You know what? I'll give you in honor of that, I'm going to give you a red Amiga. There we go. Red Amiga disc. Let's go.
You know, what's going on with Hollywood with the waste and the bloat and some of the worst fight scenes we get out of Hollywood sometimes.
This is incredible. How did you do it? How did you guys do it?
We go into full detail in the commentary and
link in the description
about all of that. And Tyrant has a good philosophy on how he approaches visual effects.
This is so Skyrim.
To me, up to this point, Tyrant's character reminds me of Skyrim, and Shad's character reminds me of Oblivion. Is it? I'm absolutely right.
Again, not the only one who mentioned it. Big compliment. Thank you.
Let me show you why. I'm going to show you why. Because we are nerds. Oblivion. Oh, goodness gracious. Don't give me Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. Elder Scrolls. Okay. Right. Okay. So, look at this. I mean, Oblivion is this massive, but very open barbute. And then the guy, pretty bulky with his armor. And there is also a shot, I'm pretty sure, this is the steel set as well that you see here, was also reminiscent of that. Once again, barbute is kind of the emblem. And then the greens and all that, very, very epic shots for Oblivion, 100%. And I'm pretty sure there is a shot where he kneels down effectively the same way that Shad does. Skyrim, however, yeah, when it comes to Skyrim, it has more that like wintry, am I right? A little bit with the fur. And so that's why Tyrant character reminded me more of Skyrim.
Just me? But this is incredible.
Yeah, look at that.
Anyway, this is on the Shadlands, my property. I just love it.
I love that Shadlands are beautiful. So he owns a lake. I wonder how big the Shadlands are. I know he has a dedicated channel. I don't think he posts in there anymore. I also own land. I bought some land here in the US. didn't really make a big announcement, but we bought a house recently with my wife, and the house came with some land. So I have maybe like 17 trees, probably nothing compared to the Shadlands in size, but maybe in the future I would like to invest into some land if it has like a little river, maybe, or something like that. It's nice to own land. How much AI was used in that video? I think just the dragons and the castle. I know the castles are not real. I don't believe the dragons are real, but I'll wait for him to confirm that.
Holy moly, there you go. Man of Faith on the left. Screentested.
Crescent-tested is a great name. Crescent is such a good word. I'm going to use that.
Oh, look at the banners.
We were happy.
Yeah, that's...
Like to look more realistic, but they did the job. They did the job. I am interested.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Just that Metatron didn't comment on the taking off the helmet thing. Oh, we addressed it in the comments, and I think I told him in our messages.
Yeah, you answered your own question
as well, so he already knew why. Well,
Shadiversity, this is awesome. This is awesome.
I get to add a little bit of extra things that I don't mention in the commentary. Dang, I was happy with how my hair looked on the day. It can sometimes not work. And it's like, especially because I was having a helmet on. I thought the helmet was going to ruin the hair, but the hair.
I feel you. I can be a little annoying when it comes to the hair as well. Like, you know, you want it to look good. It is what it is. So, man, if we film this, we'll have to figure it out. My hair is becoming, my hair is getting to us. It reaches my waist, so it's we're gonna do something about it. Might need a ponytail.
Perfect. When I took that helmet off, I was luck.
Awesome. The production quality. You see, that's a civilized man. He put his helmet on top of a stick. Tyrant is a barbarian.
Tyrant is a barbarian. A double down Tyrant. If you have a problem with that, you can challenge you as well to a duel. Let's go.
Love him, but I'm with the civilized man in this.
Thank you, Metatron. And you are absolutely correct. Tyrant is a barbarian.
Thank you.
The guy, but he uses a katana one-handed. Like Metatron, you feel me on that, don't you? Like genuinely, using a katana one-handed, barbaric.
Yeah, unless you dual wield. I think if you dual wield and you go Miyamoto Musashi style, then I'll be like, okay, you have earned. Or maybe like there are a few Yaido techniques that do that, like you draw and cut with one hand and then move it around, bring it up to an upper stance, and now you're holding it two hand. But yeah, it is what it is. I should do a samurai. I could do a samurai top notch. Literally, I could do a Chon Mage.
Uncivilized. He should be ashamed of himself. And he throws his helmet on the ground. I've probably done it before as well. But still, shocking stuff.
This one, I mean, they're both.
He needs, you know what he needs? It's one of those situations for Tyrant, I think. And maybe we could say, I want to say Australia, but Australia doesn't exist. They're all British paid actors anyways. But you know what do they need? They can visit Rome. You know, they can come to Rome and visit it and everything is lovely. But nothing is going to change until Rome visits them. Then they're going to become civilized.
Really cool, but Shad is my pal, mate. So I got to support Shad on this one.
And look, I get people, rooting for Tyrant as well. He got to kill me on his channel. Fair is fair.
The crown. Oh, I see. They're fighting for the crown. Could you imagine if we could do this, me and Shad, like with my banner? We're gonna do this, okay, Shad?
Yeah, imagine the Metatron cube, which is my banner, is called the Metatron's cube. It's a piece of sacred geometry. Imagine if we could put like the Metatron's cube on a banner. Who made that banner, Shad? Who made it? Is there like a company that makes them? Let me know, because I'd be interested in making one myself. And you read, yeah, and shave the top of your head. Oh no, I'm not gonna go into that style. I'm gonna go into Muromachi period when they didn't have that, like early Muromachi, just with the Chon Mage without the shaving of the head.
I challenge you publicly. If I ever set foot in the Shadlands, or if you ever come to America.
Note that I said in the Shadlands. I did not say Australia.
I challenge you to this.
Okay, like genuinely. Genuinely, I would love to do it. We would need to prepare and plan. Like I said, I even have a vision of trying to do another one with Tyrant if we had the means. But if we if I go to America and we get to meet up, you come here.
You should totally come here. We have plenty of room in this house. It's a big, big house. I'm very blessed with it. And we have extra rooms. So if you want to come here, I know he has 17 kids. So probably we don't have enough room for all of his kids. But if he comes here with his wife, well, unless they are okay packing the kids, like we could put like 4 kids per room, maybe 5 kids. So anyways, we've got a lot of rooms that we're not using right now. And so, yeah, there is space for you. You can come here. Don't even have to worry about a hotel, mate.
Like, we could do a simpler one, like a full day shoot like we did today. Oh, sorry, like we did, on the day. And then there'll be less planning, and it'll be because we could probably pull something out pretty good. As to some of the setup, that's the tricky thing. But yes, dude, I would love to do that. I just want you to visit me, man. I mean, show you the Shadlands. We get to hang out. And same, like if I ever get to America sometime. I don't know. But yeah. Look.
You need to try the way they make steak here. Oh, it's so good. Like Americans really know how to cook a steak. And let me tell you that my father-in-law, they use this type of seasoning that is called gunpowder. I'm not joking. And then they put it on the steak and oh my gosh, it's so good. So we can totally do that.
I feel sometime in the future, we are going to get to hang out in person, which would just be great, man.
Yeah.
And go watch a couple of movies, play some video games. I love it. It's great.
I'll wear my...
He still never mentions pasta. What's wrong with you? Like, I'd love to watch a couple of movies, having some pasta. I'm going to make some pasta. I make some killer sauce, let me tell you that much. 17 kids. Oh, no, I didn't mean it literally. He has 5? I think he has 5 kids. Have I been to Brazil or Argentina? I've never been to South America. No. Be nice. Love to.
Blue Brigandine. Before we
Yes.
watch, one thing I want to say is that I'm going to provide commentary as a viewer, as someone who enjoys combat, fighting, video games, and I'll watch it. And of course, I do practice HEMA, I practice Kenjutsu Kendo, but I'm not equipped to be able to give a sort of dissection of the techniques, the guard positions.
I would have been more than happy if you did want to share your thoughts on it, because we go into detail on our commentary, and I think some things work, some things, borderline.
Okay, I'll do it.
We could do better. But so watching as a viewer, great as well. Though, because you have good insights, I'd always love to hear them.
Stances and footwork. I'm not equipped to do that, so that's not what I'm not going to do a full-on analysis. Maybe a little bit.
Mini analysis.
But I'm mostly interested in the overall level of how believable the choreography is as opposed to what we usually see in video games and movies. So let's go.
Hey there, Gledjonar. Good to have you here. We are having Inception here. I'm reacting to a react to a react of my react of his react of their react.
I also try not to interrupt the combat.
I interrupt all the time, though. Feel free to. But I guess I get what you're doing. You want to show the flow of the fight.
Very nice, very nice.
I was happy with it. It could be better. There was just a thing in here.
They're kind of probing a little bit.
Yeah,
makes sense.
These shots.
You wouldn't just.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
So that's when they actually go for the real attack. I like about this is that it looks like they're trying to cut each other. A lot of Hollywood movie fights, it looks like they're specifically purposely targeting the blade, and you can tell. And I like them. And maybe occasionally here it did happen, if I have to be 100% honest, which, yeah, that's me. Anyways, but most of the cuts, it looks like they're trying to cut the other person, but they deflected the sword out of the way, which is how a real duel is supposed to look like. Also, when it comes to the Brigandine, the Blue Brigandine, my Blue Brigandine would be really good for this, because we actually went for a thinner type of plates on the back, and they taper. My plates taper. It's steel, it's being covered in liquid tin for rust proofing, which is something that they did historically in the medieval period sometimes, and even in ancient Rome they had they would silver stuff, and then they would tin stuff as well. Anyways, the front of the plate is where they are the thickest, and then they progressively become thinner on the sides and the back, so it's actually pretty light.
Reverse edge cut there, Metatron. I was like,
Nice.
I like reverse edge cuts.
Hey, up to this point, I love it. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that.
So that one was more warding him away because I know.
Yeah, it looked like a control. This one specifically looked like a control and trying to get more of the area, a sort of area control.
The measure was a bit further away, but that was just like that's the probing stage in the fight.
Very nice exchange. Very nice exchange.
Exchange.
Shad has the same tendency that I have to bend a little. That was awesome.
So I love what you're about to say,
Yeah.
but then you got distracted by one of my favorite moments in the fight.
It is
So
one of the best.
Why I get distracted because, oh man, in my opinion, we nailed that moment.
You did nail it. It's really good. Even the camera angle, I think you said it's Nathan here, the cameraman, you see a little bit of the lake as he's moving back to avoid the cut. It's pretty nice.
But the fact that you're saying I have a tendency to bend, yes, and
I did say bend. I think what I meant to say is hunch. I believe that's the word. And I have actually a few things to say to continue, expand a little bit on that. Let's see what he says first.
I know I do it. I do it intentionally. It's about energy conservation for me because of chronic fatigue, and so I adopt a stance where I can still be ready. My arms are ready to move, but it actually positions my weight ready by bending. I'm ready a bit to lean forward. And so, though some people say that you shouldn't do it, and generally that might be true for me, I know what works for me. And so in this fight, I was actually just focusing on. This is the way I stand, this is the way I hold, this is the way I fight. And it's interesting that, of course, comes through and that you're noticing as well.
Yeah, okay, let's talk a little bit about that. So I think, as I say, I do have that tendency a little bit to hunch as well. And I remember when I was practicing both Kendo and Kenjutsu, my sensei in Japan used to tell me, no, straight back, no, straight back. They would correct it constantly. And I believe there is a similar thing in both German longsword, Italian Fiore dei Liberi, right? The Fior di Battaglia manuscripts and what's the word? Treatises. I believe, generally speaking, a straight back is the correct position in most cases when it comes to fencing, whether it be Eastern or Western. But I also believe that historically there would have absolutely been people that also hunched a little bit, because I think it's a natural tendency for some of us to do it. When it comes to that as well, another thing I want to add is that there is a style, there is a famous, according to some infamous, but I think he's pretty good, in fact. There is a famous sensei in Japan. I don't remember the exact style. I might have to Google it. But he does that. He hunches a lot, which is why other sensei usually hate him. But he's actually really good. And he hunches more than Shad, which is why he got some backlash, but he has an entire school. So at the end of the day, I think that something can be wrong in a style, but right in a different style. I mean, think about it. Even in hand-to-hand combat, and I'm gonna to show this, I need to put myself up full screen. For instance, the way when you do karate in traditional styles, the way you charge the punch is that this goes all the way down to your waist. But if you look at more modern styles of karate, such as Seido Kaikan, Kyokushinkai, the punch is actually loaded, charged up right underneath your armpit. So technically, the way they do it is wrong in, say, Shotokan karate, Shitoryu, Wadoryu, Gojuryu, in a lot of these other styles. It would be wrong, but it isn't wrong in Seido Kaikan and Kyokushin. And Kyokushin is legit. So there are some stylistic changes and stylistic variations. And to me, the idea of hunching a little bit could be considered one of those. I personally try not to do it. So we'll continue to try and correct myself up to a point where most of the time, so we'll keep a straight back. I do believe there are some advantages when it comes to body mechanics. But then again, there are people that do it. There are excellent fencers that still hunch a bit. So personal preference, and it might even be considered stylistic if we take into consideration the Japanese dojo that I did mention. I'll see if I can find the name of the dojo. It's an interesting discussion though. Yeah, training swords normally will help you get a straight back, yeah.
That
I'm sorry, am I top right? I am top right, okay.
was awesome. Man,
Yeah,
how
I'm
much
not-
did they rehearse?
Not much. That one we did we went through a couple of, I guess, tries just to prep it. And then, all right, film, let's go for it. And we had to do it from multiple angles as well.
Okay, if they haven't rehearsed, what this means is that they have experience with each other. That's what that means. They have experience with each other. They are confident with each other's ability to be safe. Because at the end of the day, if we look at this, they're not being safe. Okay, they're using steel. Of course, this is not sharp. The edges are blunt. That doesn't mean you can't crack bones with it. So yes, they are protected in the armor. So even if they hit full force on the armor, it's not going to be a big deal. But maybe his is foam. Maybe on the side, on the ribs, might be still a little dangerous. But in general, I think he's well protected. But his face and head is not protected. And if you get a hit by one of these on the temple, I'm not saying it's going to crack his skull, but it could really injure him. And also, they could be hit in the eyes. They could hit each other in the teeth. They could break fingernails because they're not wearing gauntlets. I think when we fight, if we rehearse it a lot, I'm okay going gauntletless and helmetless. But if we don't, then I'm going to wear my gauntlets and we'll see with the head. Unless we go for something that is like foam, then it's fine. It's just one of those things. And the reason why I'm saying this is also to discourage, it's their choice. Absolutely. I can respect that they did an excellent job, but I would like to discourage the audience to try this. Always wear the correct protection, whether it be combat or something else.
They must have practiced this like for 3 weeks. This is how it's done.
Okay, so this
Hollywood,
one here.
This is how it's done.
Well, that sequence
Yeah,
right there,
that was really close to hit his fingers. That was pretty risky there.
was no practice at all. That was freeform. And we threw some freeform exchanges in, which I was shocked. I thought they would, the ones that had the potential to look the worst, but they ended up looking great. But then Tyrant, he edited this. He did a really good job splicing them in with other sequences to extend certain moments.
Other reason why I would want to wear hand protection is because I'm a pianist. So I like playing the piano. That's good.
You know, great. Of course, the armor is going to protect.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing I want to say about this, I've seen a couple of people in the comments complaining and saying, oh, that's so stupid. Why would he even try to cut the abdomen if he knows the opponent is in armor? You know what? I think the answer is this look. What this means to me, we'll see what he says. But to me, what this look is, he ended up cutting the gut, trying to cut the gut because of muscle memory. And now he realizes, damn, he's got a cuirass. It didn't cut. It could happen. I mean, I don't see it as something silly. Maybe it could happen a lot, in fact, during combat when you're fighting the opponent. Maybe you want to go for a gap in the armor, but you miss and you end up hitting him when he's well armored. So it's one of those things. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So, should my character have known? I mentioned in the commentary, I think he should have, but all right, maybe if we go this way, it's like it was instinctive, where my character, he had trained fighting so much that he just saw an opening and just got to take the opening, and it's reflex.
Absolutely. A lot of martial arts are muscle memory. Even in hand-to-hand again, when you see someone like incredible fighters like Gary O'Neill for Kyokushinkai, the Australian fighter, he's spectacular, but the speed at which he can pull a full flying roundhouse, like not even a roundhouse, it's like the what is it called? Ushiro Mawashigeri. It's like the one when they spin kick and hit you in the temple. You think he's thinking? At that point, he has practiced so much, it's instinctual.
And then it's like, oh, this isn't a regular, duel where it's first contact win, or just it's like, oh yeah, this is gotta keep going.
This is incredible. I know I said I was gonna stop it, but the production quality of this is insane, doesn't it?
Well, one of the things that I think
isn't it? What's with doesn't it? My English broke.
really working is the depth of field that they're getting on the lens. Okay, and so ISO and aperture,
little bokeh effect
and stuff that affects how much blurry the background is, and so by adjusting the settings, you can kind of get some good depth of field look.
Yeah, nice.
That's one of my other favorite ones. It's the symmetrical spinning into position.
Go, 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 Shad, go. Come on.
I love you, Metatron. You're the best.
Showing off a bit.
Yeah, you throw it a cheeky little flourish in there. I like flourishes look great. They look good.
Showing off.
Okay, they're getting physical. Makes
And one of the things, like, again, Tyrant and I, we're used to each other, so we're perfectly fine with actually putting force into that. And so we're not actually acting that force. That's real.
sense.
I believe it.
Absolutely. Use anything.
That was such a good series of cuts from Tyrant.
That's why you want a cross guard.
Oh, yeah. Did you see how close we got that slow-mo? And there's
You're insane. You're insane, mate.
another slow-mo. It's like millimeters
Appreciate that, Sir Dude, man.
to the hand. I don't recommend it for everyone trying that. But the fact that we got it so close and on camera is just so good. And there's been people commenting like they literally made them cringe. It was so close. I'm like, oh, you know?
Yeah, that could crack a bone. It really could crack a bone.
And that's the type of stuff that draws people into a fight because they get a sense of realism and they know they're like, there's nothing blocking that hand. That's a steel sword. Like, you know, they get a deeper reaction. And that's the type of, and not every actors can pull that off because you need to be trained in a sword and trust your opponent and be willing to also.
And luck. Don't underestimate luck because you could get unlucky and still you're trained and all that. And it's a risk that as an adult you can choose to take. I'll wear mittens.
Be a bit risk, you know, risk some stuff now and then to try and get the shot. So I can see why that one in particular is hard for Hollywood to achieve.
Shit, I mean, that was a close call, to be honest, right there. When you do a movement like this, it was really close to the temple.
So a lot of the head stuff, right? We purposely angled the camera and we weren't aiming for the head. And the other ones were, we trusted that you're going to be on point with the block. Or if you miss the block, I would pull the strike and stop. And Tyrant and I have sparred enough times that we know we're able to do that. Where it's like, you know, we get a shot in and we stop just before. And it's like, I won that exchange, even though we're not actually touching. And so we trusted we'd be able to do that in the actual filming.
I don't know if that feeling was enhanced by the camera angle.
Yeah, there you go.
If it was. Splendid.
Sometimes it is the camera.
We twist it a little bit right there.
And yes, we did as well.
I think next time you should have someone there with a first aid kit.
Controlled risk, of course. But
Exactly, controlled risk. And I think it does enhance the
who's
reaction.
gonna win? Who do you want to win?
Oh,
there he goes. There he goes.
That's really cool.
Nice. He locked him.
Actually, I'm going to say that I didn't say it there in the first reaction, but these physical moments when they are literally almost grappling are my favorite.
Like, ooh. GG, Shad. Even
that was actually one of my other favorite moments. Just because for some reason, I don't know how we got the hair flicked back.
Yeah.
As the blade went through it. It looks like the blade is actually going through the head as a result. I don't know how we managed that.
it was fake blood, man. This must have cost.
And also, that's when we find out that his character is a sociopath. I mean, he's literally laughing at the dead guy, his body. Psychopath.
I mean, we did have to invest some money into it. Tyrant did a lot of the prep work, but especially the props. All credit to him.
And now he's king. Wow, this is... Holy moly. This was incredible.
GG.
The crowning.
I'm just so happy how my hair turned out. Did you see how good my hair looks now? Yeah, there's only one thing with your hair. It's too short. You need to let it grow at least to your belly button.
No way. Is this CGI? It
Well,
must be CGI.
There was a couple of effects for that. It's actually
kind of silly that I ask that now that I think about it, because I mean, of course, it's CGI. It's not like he's gonna build an entire castle to make a video.
a still backdrop, using AI tools to actually make it.
Right.
And then Tyrant has added like some flame, torch effects.
In collaboration with Screentested.
And of course, that's actually a shot of the castle set we have here, and then we use in Shadiversity
Right.
with, you know, lighting effects to make it.
Nice.
Shad, and everyone involved, of course, the editors,
Yes.
the music. Now, I heard
Yeah, because credit to, of course, Nathan, who was there. Marcus was also helping us out. And so 4 people were involved in the shooting of the short film, as well as all the prep work. And look, a lot of credit goes to Tyrant. He did a lot.
By the way, since he has this open here, I'm going to give you... It's interesting that he has got the history hit with Simon Elliott. You know, I'm not a huge fan. Then, that's weird. He's got the same stuff that I get. Oh, no, because that's me. Oh, that makes sense. He was reacting to me. For a moment, I was like, wait a second. How does Shad know about Europa Antica? By the way, Europa Antica is my lead researcher. He has his own channel. It's just that it's in Italian. But he's my lead researcher. He's one of the people that don't exist. So for a moment, I'm like, how does he know? Has he been listening to Dance with the Dead, Andromeda? Because that's one of my favorite songs. And then I'm like, of course, that's me. He's reacting to me. The Inception is starting to get me confused. Let's change color. Let's go for blue. Can we go for blue, please? There we go. Thank you.
A lot of the he prepared the sets, and it was his kind of, you know, vision in terms of the direction as well. So big credit to Tyrant.
heard that you get a different ending if you watch it over at
Yep.
Screentested. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Screentested, here it is. I'm not going to rewatch the entire thing, but I do want to see, give him a like. Of course.
And everyone, Tyrant has a making of video where he goes through many of the processes of what we're doing on the day, his approach to the filming. Brilliant video. Please check it out.
I'll put links.
Give the video a boost as well. And some really good insights. Tyrant, he's a filmmaker, okay? He has a passion for it and is good at it.
I'll have to collaborate with Tyrant.
Right, so please check that out.
Of course, I want to see the alternative ending.
Please.
Let's go.
So not only does it have an alternative ending, it has a couple of changes as well, like different scene angles, and also some of the changes in the choreography where I had kind of a preference where I thought, okay, I feel that we could change that. And then Tyrant, he approached like, all right, he was happy with the speed in one shot or wanted to keep a slow-mo or a close-up in there. And so the whole video has differences throughout the entire thing. They're not identical with just a different ending. There's actual different changes.
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Because that shot of the crown was different.
Nice. Upper stance.
So
Cut
slicing
his
my
arm.
back leg.
Oh, look at the blood. That's it.
And so I basically
Bye-bye,
can't get it.
Shad.
My leg is done. And so
Yeah, what about his 17 kids? Who's going to...
thank you for mentioning my kids. I was just like, Tyrant, he defeated me at that point. Okay, I clearly wasn't able to fight. He got my leg. He didn't need to just he could have accepted my defeat. She's a bit brutal.
You are the one, you hypocrite, who not only ended him, not rightly, but then laughed at his dead body. Look at his face instead. Tyrant may be the barbarian, but at least he's not a psychopath. I mean, you're the civilized, your character, Shad, is the civilized psychopath, and then Tyrant is the uncivilized, but at least he's like a regular guy. Like, look, he's distraught, he's distressed, he's in distress. You could tell he just killed a man.
Killing me off. As Metatron mentioned, what about my 17 kids? You know?
Yeah.
Take care of them now. Tyrant.
I have 5. I only mentioned I don't want to ruin the joke, but I know there's some people who actually think I've got 17 kids.
It happened today. It just happened today in the chat. Love you guys. Love the chat.
5, which are I love them all. They're great.
You gonna do that, King?
Also, he may be lying. I think he does have 17.
Okay. See the hand in the foreground with the blood. Because this is his version, it's actually not in the commentary reaction we have because we're commenting to my version.
Right.
That's Marcus's hand because I hate sticky crap on my hands. It's a pet peeve. Just don't like it.
Yeah, I can see him as a king. He looks like a king.
I doubled down.
Tyrant sold there, you know.
Look, you can tell he's desperate. He's like, why did I have to do this? I did not want to do this. Why have the gods forced me to end another person's life? You were laughing, Shad. You were laughing.
Regretful victory thing. Where my character was, he was happy with the victory there.
Yeah.
Tyrant is really showing.
I love that they have
so-
two different endings.
Yeah, I think I was happy with that.
Yeah, this was genius.
Good angle. This is a good shot.
Man, that was... So of course,
was great.
If you haven't, check out Screentested channel, because he's got a
Yeah, I know, the X-File makes absolute sense. It is the way I said it. I think I rolled that natural 20 with that one.
lot of awesome stuff. Look at this. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And as always, really, really congratulations to my dear friend Shad. He did an exceptional job and he absolutely needs more views. This deserves more views. Freaking
Yeah.
algorithm, literally.
I know, man. The video got buried, but I have been mentioning in other videos, boosting it. It's on the front page, and so, and your video, genuinely, thanks for reacting to it, mate.
Absolutely.
That's also boosted as well, and it's gotten, it's growing. It's growing. Not where I'd like it to be, but still very happy with it. I'm grateful for the whatever views we do get. Of course,
The production was spectacular. So Shad, here's the thing. You, me,
yes,
sword.
yes,
Anytime, mate. We gotta do this.
100%.
So what I'm gonna do, as a little
100%.
post-production information, I actually asked him, how long did you train? And here's what he told me, so you get a little extra insight. So he's telling me it was done without helmet or gloves, with fully weighted steel swords. We had our reasons for this, of course. The no helmet choice was for facial reactions and airflow. I suppose, yeah, a little bit. I mean, with a barbute airflow, I think would have been fine. But I understand it's the same reason why Hollywood does it, so you can
it's
recognize
it's
who's
just
who.
very uncomfortable. Also,
And
vision.
he's saying it was a very hot day.
Vision with a barbute is okay, and if you want vision, you could wear an armlet and lift up the visor. You'll have perfect vision there. I wonder how he's doing now that he's gone for daily upload. Well, it's kind of too soon to say. Daily upload made a difference for me after 2 weeks, but sometimes can take as long as a month before you actually see a real difference, both with the algorithm, but revenue, general views, and that kind of stuff. So I think it will be much better. Like the revenue, for me, the revenue went up 7 times over.
But with an in-story reason, Tyrant's character took it off as an overconfident taunt, implying he felt he could beat my character.
I think
Yeah.
we could have implied or shown that more through body language. Like after Tyrant took his helmet off, I reckon if I did my character, he took his hand, he looks at Tyrant, he hesitates, takes it away, and then commits to it as well, and then takes off his helmet. I think that would have conveyed that it's a decision
Right.
that he's making in response.
Without that protection. Makes sense. To which I feel like I'm speaking to the movie maker, to which my character matched this confidence by taking off his. This also justified most of the choreography, as that meant we were striking for each other's exposed heads. Sure. We went with no gloves for more control over the swords. Well, yeah, medieval people actually did that too.
Yes.
Yep.
I was actually a bit surprised how few people knew that.
My face. I look stoned, although I've never been in my life. I've never smoked anything, but it is what it is.
Everyone was saying that, like, it's weird we weren't wearing gloves, and it's like, that's a common enough thing historically. There's a lot of depictions of people,
Yeah.
swordsmen, not wearing gloves.
Absolutely.
Sometimes in iconography, like clearly you do want gauntlets. There we go. So these are always nice, and plenty of knights used gauntlets, whether it be mittens like these, or whether it be the ones that have like articulated fingers. But there were also knights and men at arms that in war and in duels would choose not to wear the gauntlet.
Yeah, plenty of iconography for that.
It's
And I find it interesting that so few people also know that there's a lot of depictions where armored, soldiers are not wearing any leg armor. Just like,
Very true. Very true. Particularly if you're part of a formation, then you can get away with that. And it's also a matter of money. Not everyone could afford an entire suit. So there is that. That face should be emote for Twitch. Hey, I'll think about it. I'm glad the revenue is up by so much, but it sounds exhausting. Hey, at the end of the day, you got to work for a living, right? There are a lot of people out there that need to lay bricks, for instance, under the rain in the cold. I'm working at home. So it's already such an easier situation. I really can't complain. And I'm having a good time, particularly with the daily on the 3rd, with the gaming stuff that I do here in the evening. I freaking love it. So it's fine, yeah.
like they're wearing tights, hosen, pants, basically.
Yeah.
No armor on them, their legs at all.
Italian knights sometimes chose to wear boots instead of sabatons. Not everyone did. but some Italian knights did. Because at the end of the day, don't underestimate the protection that a thick boot can give you. And other times you've got knights in the medieval period too that choose not to wear pauldrons, and so they only have mail for the shoulders. I believe the logic that there were, of course, Italians that did wear pauldrons, that really wore pauldrons, like the massive ones, like the similar set that I have. But those Italian knights that choose not to wear pauldrons, I think the logic is they are mounted anyways, so it's not going to be easy for enemy infantry to kind of cut you like this from top. And it can still happen. It's always a choice, but, you know, they probably thought the mail was sufficient. Yeah, that's true. So dude, that's true. Yeah, maybe the inventive part, I suppose. It makes sense.
And I think it's worth just a dedicated video. I know I've mentioned it tangentially in videos, but I should make a dedicated video. Why?
Pikemen, exactly, Galigio now. It's a good example.
I'm doing it. I'm adding it to the list.
It's a thing. I understand that for us, that could be kind of weird. Personally, if it was me, I would go for the gauntlets. But then again, it's one of those things, like some...
So, and one of the other interesting things, my Gambison has these really thick...
I want to try and say it like he said it. Gambison? Gambison? Is that how you said it? Gambison? Gambison. Gambison. I don't know.
Cuffs right there. And I can't fit the gauntlet over the cuff. And so when I wear that Gambison, which just suits the Brigadine so well,
Gambison.
I can't fit on gauntlets.
Knights that would just raise the visor. In fact, if we
Priorities.
do that, Shad, I think I would wear my Maximilian helmet or any armet, and I would duel you with the visor up, but still wearing the helmet. Or maybe I'll take it off and show off my locks. Well,
that's actually really, because if you wear the armor, right, that would affect our choreography, the way our characters would fight, which would be make it a different kind of combat sequence, which would be really cool.
It really would look like a manuscript illumination with the armet but the visor up during a duel. That would really make it look like, oh, we could do that with Tyrant actually in post-production. You could have it like we put ourselves in the exact same stances and positions, similar armor, similar whatever composition of a real medieval illustration, and then you have the illustration come to life as we start. Oh, that would be amazing.
Like I go half sorting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I will see. You choose. You are the movie director, not me. And then he says, we also trusted each other enough to be safe. Sure. We knew we were both good at pulling our strikes.
There was another mention about gloves as well, like the hot day, sweatiness, get really uncomfortable.
When we saw the other Mr. Block, I gotta say it doesn't look like it. It looks like you were fully committed. There were only a couple of times where I was like, maybe that looked like he's not fully committing, but the majority of the...
Rather than committing, I actually retract that. It's not that it doesn't look like you're fully committing. It looked like you're not fully extending your arms a couple of times. Because, of course, if you want to try and hit the blade, which most of the time it doesn't look like it, but the only few times when it did look like you were targeting the blade, which sometimes for blade control is fine, by the way. It's not necessarily a critique. But I'm saying, I think the one thing that really makes it look like you want to hit the opponent is where you fully extend the arms to really maximize your reach. Not that you have to do it on every single strike, but yeah.
Oh, the shots, splendid. And
yeah, and so some of my thoughts is like, I agree, yet at other times I know in actual sparring there are times when you don't have fully committed strikes and you're just trying to get the opponent to... You're trying to bait their sword out of position.
Fair.
And so those are reasons why, and Metatron, you know this, of course, I completely understand, I'm just kind of mentioning it for general viewers, that sometimes you actually do purposely strike for the blade, okay? It just needs to be justified in the flow of the choreography. And
Buonasera, Italiano di dove? Where in Italy are you from?
So often, especially with recent examples like in Acolyte, there's nothing but aiming for the blade, and that's where the criticism comes fully into play. But the occasional strike at the blade, okay, is actually, that's fine.
I agree.
There are times when you want to draw your blade out, manipulate into a different position, knock it offline, so you actually strike at the blade purposely to knock it away. Yeah, absolutely. Which I know you know.
And then again, it can happen, a moment of hesitation, even if you do want to kill or incapacitate your opponent, because maybe you're...
Also, it's like, I know I've done it in sparring. try and fluster the opponent with a quick flurry of strikes where you're just trying to push them back. And in those instances, you don't actually need to fully aim for the person, like the opponent, but they would actually try and move back anyway because of the intimidation factor. And when you try and fluster them, the purpose of it is to get them into a predictable reaction.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so you've drawn them into a predictable reaction, and then you quickly change it up with a final different one, and then they, because they're in the predictable movement or the habit of like, oh, hit block the same thing, they go for the same thing, and then your strike comes in a different angle.
Yeah, makes sense. Provincia di Matera. Ah, nice. Do most Italians get to visit all regions of Italy? No. No, in fact, I want to say most Italians stay in their own region. Probably.
Not fully confident of committing because you don't know what sort of riposte. So
Yeah.
it looked very, very believable, I have to say it.
And so that's one of the things. I could see myself criticizing in Hollywood things if they're doing it constantly, which I've done with like the Acolyte. But with the occasional one, there are times when it can be passable because there are, of course, many cases it happens in real sword fights.
And then he says, when you're using steel swords was...
Very cool, very cool. Okay, let me check the ending a little bit here, and then let me see.
It doesn't take much to make something vastly better than it. So, but I certainly appreciate the sentiment.
That tells you a lot, doesn't it? Next time, will you challenge the 72 winged angel?
It's on. It's on.
Thank you for watching, number ones.
Thank you, mate. Love Metatron. He is a legend. Go check out his channel, of course, if you haven't seen him. And I had to do it. It was fun. It's Reactinception. It's just so...
We are on, noble ones. Is he going to say hello, noble ones? On his next reaction, is he going to do that?
Appreciate you, mate. Thank you for watching. And, of course, if you want to see the full commentary where we talk about all the prep work, and we go through, break down every kind of movement and motion, what we think of the techniques that we use, everything, we have our full commentary of that fight scene here where we expose ourselves. It's right there, available. Go check it out. I hope to see you there. And until that time...
Awesome. This was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I don't know about you, noble ones, but I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. So to Shad, of course, react to this if you dare. I'll see you next time, noble ones.